Hi everyone, my name is Michael Shiels and I am a Christies Direct ambassador, and I'm here to talk about scissors for people that are new to grooming, people that are grooming for a few years, what kind of scissors that I would recommend for different coat types, and why I'm their Scissor brand ambassador. So now we're going to talk about how to choose the right scissors for you, depending on your coat type and depending on the type of breed that you're going to be doing. Normally I would say, find a scissor that's comfortable for your hand, that you can relax. Like a scissor becomes an extension to your fingers. It's not something that you can pick lightly. You've got to try them, you've got to test them, and we have a wide range here at the Christies stand, or the Christies scissor range, and you can test them and trial them for your hand. Weight is a good thing as well. Some people like a very heavy scissor, some people like a really light scissor. Myself personally, I like a heavy, good, strong scissor. Probably because I've got very big man's hands, if you think about it, but it just depends on yourself. I see a lot of people coming through and asking questions at all the shows and things and saying, I use rose lines, or I use Cyrus, or I use Luminosas, and I use this and I use that. And I say to them, well, the rose lines would be an entry level, and then the Luminosas would be a wee bit more up the market and they would last you a wee bit longer, and they're better for finishing dogs and things like that. So, it's all down to personal preference, and we'll always guide you and decide with these what is the best way to go forward, and the coat types and things. Not all scissors are built to work in every coat type. There's only one scissor out there that I've ever used on the 20 years that I've been grooming that will work on every coat type, and it's a really old scissor, and it's a rose line scissor, and it's only for working and getting you bulk work and getting the job done every day in a salon. But if you're moving on to doing shows, finishing off your dogs, Asian grooming, things like that, you've got to use a different range of scissors, and you've got to pick them wisely. And that's why we're here at the Christies stand, and we're always here to help and advise you on the scissors that you need for the different types of shapes, styles, coat types, anything at all. We're here to help. So now we're going to talk about entry levels and levels of scissors and what the levels mean. So if somebody comes up to me and they say, I'm only a new groomer, and I've only been at groom school for maybe 6 weeks, and they're looking to buy a set of scissors, then I always go for the level 2, the level 3. They're a Japanese scissor, they're Japanese steel, they'll last longer, they cut very, very well. And we always go for the Cyrus range, and this is the range that I would always give to my students and tell them is to go and buy, because they're amazing. Even my staff use them in their grooming years, and they're a fantastic wee scissor, and they're maybe 2 to 3 at entry level, you know what I mean? And they're unbelievable steel, and they last, and they cut, and they do the job, and we always steer them against them. And they have a full range of them. You've got your curves, you've got your straights, you've got your feet scissors, you've got your muzzle scissors, you've got your chunkers, you've got your blenders. Fantastic range, and we always go for that. The Luminosas is just a wee bit more of a better steel on them, and a better scissor. Not so much better, but they're very durable, and this is the kind of scissor as well we go for all our students. And anybody coming to the stand, I always say to them, if you're buying a new set of scissors, or if you're buying a new set of, you're upgrading, say from a rose line, which would be an entry 1v2, which would be a German steel scissor, which would work in any coat type. And this is the kind of things that I would always say, buy a scissor that'll do a bit of bulk work. It'll work on your coats. It'll get the job done to where you have to then finish, and then buy a set of finishing scissors. And people get confused and going, what scissors are for? Well, you've got scissors that'll do all your dirty work, and they'll be very, very strong for that, which will be the German steel scissors. They'll go through any coat. And then you'll want to get then your finishing scissors. And this range, this Cyrus and the Luminosas range, they are fantastic, and this is what we push our students towards, and this is what we push our staff towards. Also, they come in at a really durable price as well, and they're actually fantastic for what they do. They do the whole job, they finish the coat perfect. Always talking about scissors, a lot of people say to me, oh Michael, what is a blender and what's a thinner and this, that and the other? There's all different types of scissors, right? But you'll always come across a blender and a thinner. A thinner has a wider tooth, and they're only for thinning out coats. A blender has a really fine cutting edge, and it's for polishing off dogs. people don't realise what they're for, and they're trying to work on them, and they're going, oh, it doesn't work for me, it's not doing what you said it did. It is if you use it in the correct way. If you're not using it in the correct way, then it's not going to do the job that it's supposed to do. People also come along and they say, what is a chunker? Why are we using chunkers? I say a chunker is a massive blender for wool-coated dogs, and you know, to be honest, going through all these scissors here, you need a full range. You need a full range of scissors, and for me, if it was anybody, even up to my level, I use them as well. I use the Luminosis or I use the Cyrus, they're fantastic, and I also use a Roseline scissor. My favourite out of the whole set of scissors that we have here would be the Blue Quartz. The Blue Quartz is, for me, very strong, and I've got really thick, heavy hands, and they're a nice heavy scissor, and they work for me. But any of them work for me. I can use any one of them, but I mean, for yourselves as new groomers or starting out or coming looking for scissor packs or not knowing what they're doing, and people telling you, oh, you need this, you need that, but why do you need it? This is the reasons why. You need a different scissor for every different coat type. Not all scissors go through the same coat, and you can wreck your scissors if you're using them on coats that are not suitable for them. So this is why we're here to talk about all these wee scissors and things that we sell here. Blenders and thinners. Everybody's confused, so we're going to show you the difference in the blenders and the thinners. These is a thinner. They're very straight edged, okay, and they have wider teeth, and they're just for thinning out a coat. So if you ever think about getting your hair done, or a woman or a man or whatever in a hairdresser's getting their hair thinned out, they take it from the root out. That's exactly what they're for. You go under the root and you take it out, and it takes bulk off the coat. They're not for outside the coat. Then we talk about a blender, and people are well confused about the two different. The blender is finer. It's a wee fine tooth. It's a lot more durable than a thinner, and it's for polishing out the dog's coat. So what you're doing with these is you're just dusting over the coat at the outside to polish it off. They're not for thinning out coats, and a lot of people get confused with that. So thinners are for inside, underneath the coat, to bulk out, take out hair, and the blender is for the outside of the coat to just give it that flawless finish. The flawless finish is what I always say to people. If you're doing the wee Asian muzzles and you're doing the wee Yorkie heads, that people try to get those beautiful wee teddy heads and things, even Lhasa Apsos and things like that, and have a fine coat. Blenders are for fine coats. They're not for big bulky coats like wool coats or anything like that. They're for fine coats, and they're for fine tuning. That's what they're for. Now, when we're on the stands and people coming along, they're saying, have you got this, have you got that, have you got this scissor, that scissor, and I'm going, what are you using it for? They're using it, yes, but they're using it on coats that they're not really getting a great finish with. And this is why we're here to explain the difference of why they're not getting that good finish, because you're using thinners on the outside of coats, and thinners on the outside of coats for polishing off. It's not a great thing. It doesn't give a nice finish. It gives me lines and textures, and it doesn't look or it doesn't sit right. This is why we always say, get yourself a really decent set of blenders, and these work for everybody across the board. We've been using them with all our students and things, they love it. Now, there is a big demand out there for a curved chunker and a curved blender. So we have the curved chunker. It's a small chunker, which I do believe is one of the best that you can buy. They're not a big long, they haven't got 20, 30 teeth on them. Them, to me, are the best that you can buy for chunkers, because chunkers are a very, very soft scissor. They've lost half their metal, and if you don't use them correctly, they lock, and the longer they are, the more likely they're going to lock on you if you don't use them correctly. Now, people say to me, what do you use these on? Chunkers, and people are thinking that you chunk coat with them. That's wrong. Chunkers are just a massive blender for the outside of a dog's coat. A wool-coated dog, any kind of wool-coat dog, cockapoos with combination coats, poodles, Bijons, anything, Kerry Blues and all that, they're just for dusting over the coat to give it a nice finish. When you're doing the likes of Asian faces and things, these are fantastic. These wee chunkers, these wee curved ones, they're slight curve. They do the job. They're just for blending out all the muzzles and things like that, and all the wool-coated dogs. Now, as I say, there's a curved blender out there. We just don't have any here at the minute, and they're exactly the same. They're for the finer coats. They're really the wee Yorkies, the wee Malteses, and things like that. Just to dust over them and give them a nice wee finish. Don't be using chunkers from those drop-coated dogs, those really fine coats, because you'll just leave lines on them everywhere, and it'll drive you insane. You'll not be able to get a good finish. Now we're going to talk about different types of thinners and why they're used and what we use them for. Now, a thinner's a thinner. There's a single-sided thinner, which some people get confused and think that that's just a blender. It's not. There is a thinner that is a single-sided thinner, and it takes less hair out from the root of the dog's coat, or where you're debulking, it takes less hair. And then we have the double thinner, which is going to take out twice as much hair in one go, and these are little rose line thinner. They are fantastic. They're good for debulking underneath coats, big heavy coats. For instance, we get a Lhasa Apso one, and he is really bulky and big heavy coats. I go on at the root of the coat with these double thinners, 1, 2, 3, get my comb, pull it out, and the coat is flat. It's only for debulking. This is why they're two different things, thinners and blenders. Now, that's our two different thinner types that we would use. And now we're going to talk about the wee thinner, or the wee blenders. These are Yentos. These are lovely wee scissors, and they're very well built. Now, these have a curve on them, a nice wee rounded curve that bends in the ways. Thinners are completely straight teeth. These are finely curved with double teeth, all like wee serrated teeth along the edges of them. That's why they're blenders. They're so fine, and they're just for polishing over the dog's coat, all the outsides of the coat. So if you were to get a pair of scissors and you were going to put an Asian muzzle, say, in a Shih Tzu drop coat, very fine, and you want it to stand and you want it to sit nice and flawless, no scissor lines, these is the boys that'll finish it off. These are the scissors that you're going to need to buy. Not just Yentos, any blender across the range, but the Yento ones are lovely wee finishing scissor, and they're a great steel, very durable, and I love them. We use them all the time. Now that brings us to just talking about different scissors and what they're used for, and how to actually hold your scissors correctly. I do get a lot of people coming through for classes and things, or people that have come to the stand and they've picked up scissors, and I'm like, whoa, what are you doing? Scissors are built for your full hand. They're an extension to your hand, okay? And they're for just for finishing off your dogs, or whatever it is you're going to do, cutting your dogs. Now, there's a different range of scissors, and there's a lot of different brands, and it's very confusing for some people. As I say, pick the scissors that's right for your hands. Pick a scissor that feels comfortable in your hand. Not so much as say, a lot of people come to us and they say, oh, I need a 5-inch scissor. And I'm going, what are you using a 5-inch scissor for? Oh, just for around the nose and things. Yes, that's 100%. That comes in, and we always talk about the Civity scissors. The Civity scissors have a wee bull nose at the end of it. And these are all for beginner groomers. We would always say, yes, use them if you want to use them, if that's the way you've been trained. They are, and they'll help you keep the wee bull noses are very safe for around the eyes and things, and even in between the pads and the feet. If there's knots or anything in there and you can't get the clipper in, if the dog doesn't let you use a wee trimmer on around there, then you're going to have problems trying to get on around the feet. These will help you along your way, and it'll be a lot safer for the wee bull noses as well. Getting to understand your scissors and what they're for is something that we're here for, and if you ever need any advice, just send messages or whatever, or come to the stands wherever we are. We'll explain it to you. A lot of people pick up a pair of scissors and they're using them with their wrong fingers. I've seen a lot of people using scissors like this and coming up to me and going like this, and I'm going, how do you actually get control of your scissor? I have no control of a scissor whenever I'm doing this. It's all on how these scissors were built. They were built, if you see this is for your pinky, this is for your wee finger. This is how you balance out your scissors. The scissors have a balance on them, and they are built to last, or to sit comfortable in your hand. Depends on what scissor you want to use. Now, this is for your wee pinky, and if you haven't got a wee pinky, you just don't use one, all right? You just use the scissors the way it should be, but this is where your finger is supposed to sit, and this is the way you're supposed to hold your scissors. You do not stick them halfway down your fingers like that and try and scissor a dog. I see a lot of people doing this, and it's not working. They can't do that. They're built to sit at the edge of your fingers, and your fingers just relax and sit on the scissor. Your thumb just sits inside very slightly on your thumb ring, okay? And it's just move the scissor with your thumb, your arm and your hand just glides across the dog. Now a lot of people can't get that because sometimes the thumb rings are too big and they can't get to sit comfortable, and if this is all down to new student or new groomers that have only been in the market for maybe, or in the industry for a couple of months, year, maybe 2 years, and they still find it difficult to scissor dogs. I understand. I've been teaching for a long time, and I get a lot of students through that have those problems. And these little rubber thumb rests are fantastic. They are Showtech. These are the ones that everybody's ranting and raving about all over the social medias, that they are fantastic for helping you put your thumb and helping you rest your scissors on the correct position in your hand. If they're not sitting correctly in your hand, this is where people get the problems in their wrists and in their thumbs, and I can't scissor anymore and I'm in pain because you're not holding them right. These will guide and help you hold your scissors correctly, and then you'll never have any problems. They're a fantastic little tool, a great invention, and they're just a wee rubber thumb rest so that you can't push your thumb inside the scissor. Getting back to our scissors and getting back to caring for your scissors. A lot of people ask me, what do you do with your scissors? How do you clean your scissors? How do you look after your scissors? My salon's a wee bit cold and damp. I'm finding problems with my scissors and getting moisture in my salon and things. These wee scissor pouches are fantastic to look after your scissors in the salon. Zip them up and it'll stop them getting moist. Or you ever see them wee things that you get in your shoes, the wee salt pouches? Put one of those in, and that'll keep the moisture out of your scissors. Now a lot of people are saying, you know, how do you clean your scissors? What do you do? We have a wide range of these wee pouches here, and I think anybody that has a salon, and I know a lot of people work from home, and I know a lot of people don't have a big brick built salon, and in the winter they get moisture and they get a lot of dampness in their salons and things. Get yourselves a wee scissor pouch, and that'll look after your scissors. And also that's one of the smaller ones we have, the Designer Dog ones. There is a bigger pouch as well. It holds a lot more. So if you're a scissor freak like me, you could maybe have 10 of these pouches, which I probably would need in my salon if I needed them. But for the people out there that haven't got a salon that is moisture free, just put it that way, then you're going to have to buy or invest in something that's going to look after your scissors, and these will keep them nice and clean. And also for traveling, you know, they're nice and durable, and your scissors aren't going to bend or fall about or get broken, and you're not throwing them under the bottom of an old box or whatever. They are fantastic for carrying your scissors about, even if you're going to do dog competitions and things. But in the salon, as I say, for moisture and dampy spaces, fantastic wee scissors. Now there's a whole different range, or there's a whole different ranges of them. These are the Designer Dog ones, and then we also have the Groom Professional ones, and I like both of them just as equal. They're just exactly the same really, just different colours, different brand, and they will protect your scissors in the salon. Now, maintaining your scissors and cleaning your scissors. People say to me they get a wee brush and they do this and do that. Yes, that's fine, a really soft brush. Open up your scissors like that and just go over them, and there's like a wee scissor brushes here, and I think it's like a wee barbering brush, you know, like for your face, you know, for putting on your, I don't even use it, but anyway, I've got a beard, putting on your foam to shave your face. Then wee brushes nice and light, just brush all the hairs off them, give them a wee wipe with your fingers, or like a wee maybe tissue or something really soft, pick the hairs off them, the excess hairs off them, and clean them in every part. I don't recommend putting them on the Barbicide. A lot of people do, but I don't. I've never really used it because I find it leaves a scum on the scissors and you have to clean them again after it. I just don't like it. So I just give them a wee wipe, oil the scissors. Now a lot of people say, come to me and they oil the whole shank or the whole blade. Don't do that, that's wrong. Just oil in here, close it, and oil in here. That is it. Just give it a wee, put them in your hand and scissor away, thin air, and that'll get the oil around the mechanism here, the wee ball bearings and the screw and around here with the scissors work freely. Putting them on the blade, all the hair sticks to the blades, the scissor, they won't cut. It'll not be no good. So very, very careful of how you look after your scissors. Scissors will last you for a long, long time, as long as you clean them and look after them. I've seen people producing scissors to me in crofts and things and going, you know, these aren't working or this isn't happening, and the scissors are minging, they're dirty, there's hair on them, they're not cleaned. And going, you know, clean your scissors, look after them, maintain them, put them away. I find that my scissors rust very quickly. I'm thinking, yes, because your salon's very moisture in it. You've got to be careful of where you store them. You can buy those big pool kitties or tool caddy things, and you can put them all under those as well. But if there's still moisture in the air and it's in the salon, it's going to get under the tool caddy as well. So these wee pouches, as I say, they're sealed. Put the wee dry, I think they're called, I can't even remember, when you buy a pair of shoes, you see the wee things that stops the damp on your shoes, these salt sacks, you put them inside them and it'll suck all the moisture under them and it'll not give you any problems at all. These are fantastic. Or even a wee bit of cardboard or something, that'll help with these in your salon. So guys, that's just a wee update on how to look after your scissors and what I recommend for all the scissor types. If you're in a busy salon or if you're new to grooming or whatever, don't be leaving your scissors lying on the table, because every day I see it. Boom, they're on the floor and then you're going, my scissors aren't working. They're not working because you're bouncing them off the floor. These wee scissor packs, or the wee scissor belts, are fantastic. You can either put it around your shoulder, which I don't. I put them around my waist because I don't like anything over my shoulder. And these are like a wee handbag, and look at the colour of them, they're beautiful too. I love pink's my favourite colour. But no, they're fantastic for putting your scissors in. Check through, get the scissor you need for that job, work away, put them back on here. They're not going to get damaged. They are a lovely wee add-on to your salon, and also for you to look and feel a wee bit more comfortable that your scissors aren't lying everywhere. We're all guilty of leaving your scissors lying, me especially. I've wrecked many scissors and they're lying in drawers. I've tried to get them fixed and it doesn't work. Once you try and get them fixed, then maybe yes, you might they might cut for a while or whatever, and then boom, they're back to being normal again. So if you look after them, you clean them, you oil them, you maintain them, you put them away, put them into your UV cabinet, don't put them on the barber side and leave them lying all night. It eats away at the metal, it's no good. Wee scissor pouch, put it into your trolley or put it into your wee pouches at night if your scissors or your salon's moisture and it has a bit of damp. Put them into your wee scissor pouches and put them away. Put a bit of salt in, or a wee bit of salt sachets, you know the wee sachets you get in your shoes and things, you buy them in bulk. You can put them inside, that'll take all the moisture out as well. And also a wee tip for you, if you haven't got those and you're putting them away or whatever and you're going away for a week, or put a cardboard, put it inside your scissor pouch and that'll help take the moisture out as well. Okay, but a must have for anybody, all my new students, I encourage them to buy a set of these, or a wee bag, wee scissor pouch, wee holster. Fantastic, holds all your scissors, you can get a comb and a brush on there also, and then you have everything at your hand and you don't have to run around the salon looking for stuff or leaving stuff on the table. Boom, they're destroyed. Just another wee tip for you guys. Scissor holster, fantastic.